I want to share with you how I gave different versions of a test to the same roster. When you're looking here at my assignments, the Unit 5 test, I gave everybody at the same time, remote style, because we were remote for a couple of weeks. But then we went back to hybrid, and I didn't want to go back to an asynchronous schedule. I just wanted to keep everyone on the same page, taking the test the same day, because guess what? We're going back to remote. So that means some of the kids would take the test in school and some would be at home. And then also, I wanted to be able to give multiple versions of the test, because I'm pretty sure on the Unit 5 test, out of Zoom view, they were sharing information. So by giving multiple versions of the test, it would cut down on the sharing of answers. So I'll show you how I did my process. If you look at the edit pages, there's nothing there in edit view. I didn't put anything in there. All of the exam pages that I gave to the kids, I did it in the view work area. So I copied and pasted the multiple versions in this section, which means the kids would all be getting a different test. And it can be random, or it could be on purpose and specific. So some of the kids, I definitely made sure that they didn't have the same version, and then others I just kind of, picked a version. I do have, I'm pretty sure in this class, these were the kids that were taking it in school. So most of the kids took it in school, but I do have fully remote kids in my hybrid class. And so some of the kids took it at home as well. And then this is my Monday, Tuesday kids. All of them took it at home. So they were Zooming with me. I was watching them on Zoom, and then they were taking the test on Classkick, and here's how it rolled. Number one, I did copy and paste the test in. So if the student was done with their test and other kids were still Zooming taking it, I would cover up their test with a big black rectangle. And if they logged off of Zoom and they tried to still peek at their test, they couldn't see it. If they toggled off annotations, not only were they toggling off my rectangle, but they toggled off their test. So I didn't have to worry about the kids being able to still see the test after the fact. When they log off Zoom, whether or not they had Classkick open yet, didn't really matter, because their test was blocked. They toggle off the rectangle, the teacher annotations, they toggle off their test too. Now the only real issue I had is that I didn't make the test transparent. So if I accidentally like lost the test and I had to paste it back in, it covered up their work. So the next time I do this, I'm definitely making the test transparent. So if I do have to copy and paste the test back in, if it accidentally gets deleted by me, then I'll still be able to see the student work. Now I stored the test in a roster. I got my hybrid A, got my hybrid B, tacked onto this assignment, and then I also have this exam version roster, and that's where I stored the tests in. So I have version A, B, C. So I would set this up first and then organize who gets what test, and then just really quickly copy and paste from here onto their slides. So I would just Command C, copy, move to one of the rosters, and just paste, 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 paste. All right, I'll show you how to make your test transparent. I use preview. I don't have version B done, so we'll do that one. I'm on a Mac and I use preview to delete the background, but you can use Lunapic and you can use remove BG, whatever works for you. You just need to make sure that you export your PDF as a PNG so you can remove that background. So in preview on a Mac, you can just do export PNG and then save it. And then on my desktop, here's my PNG. I'll open that up in preview, click on markup, the magic wand, click, hold, and drag, and delete, and the background's gone. And it's still crisp enough. The kids will be able to read that very nicely. It doesn't get blurry or anything like that. I think it's a little bit of a pain to get rid of my graph down there, so I'm not really worried about that. Most of it's transparent, and if I accidentally delete and paste back in, I'll still be able to see most of the student work. So I'm gonna select all, copy, come back over to Classkick, and then in my version B student, I'll paste that in and just size it up accordingly. And the neat thing about pasting into here first, before you paste into a student slide, is that once you have this set up and it's in position, if you copy and paste from here into the student slides, and let's just say it gets deleted by accident, when you copy and paste again from this slide the second time, it'll paste in the same spot. It's kind of like Google Slides. If you copy and paste from one slide to another, it puts it in the same spot. So that's really, really cool about putting it in here first. And then, like I said, since this is transparent, I don't really have to worry about it covering up student work if I have to paste it back in. So then just copy, paste in, resize it. Maybe if I resized my PNG first, I wouldn't have to resize this in here, but it only takes a couple seconds. And then that test is ready to go. And then finally, the last thing I might do is organize ahead of time what student gets what test. So maybe I'm like, all right, Dave, Michelle, and Ellie. That's just me, my husband, and my daughter. That's not my student names. But I'll organize ahead of time what student gets what test, maybe do it on paper, type it in here, and then I can quickly copy and paste it into the student slides. I don't really have to think so hard about who gets what test. Just Command C, pop over to the other rosters, and then paste, 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 paste. Just arrow through the kids and paste, 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 paste. Let me hide those student names and like show you how fast it is. I'll go into a Thursday, Friday class because most of the kids took it in class. And then you're just like paste, move on, paste, move on. All the kids that get that version, you just paste it in real quick. Toggle back over, get page 2, and paste, 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 paste. And I think that's it. Oh, at the bottom of, I have to tell you one more thing. At the bottom of my exam versions, let me put the names back on so I can see it. I have exam blackout. That's the big black box that I have in there, perfectly sized to one of the slides. And that's what I would copy and paste over to cover up a student test. Once they were done and they got off Zoom, and assuming they're done because they left Zoom, then I would cover up their work. So you would go in, the kids are taking the test, the student logs off Zoom, they're assumingly done, cover it up, and if they toggle off your annotations to get rid of that box, they lose their test too. So I hope that helps for anyone who's trying to give multiple versions for whatever reason that you want. And if you're not a fan of formative assessment, or you are not forced to do formative assessment and this is too much work for you and you're like, not your jam, that is totally fine. But for anyone who wants to give multiple versions, not create rosters, is trying to test hybrid and remote at the same time, or even fully remote, this is like super helpful to gain more control and to keep that equity for all the students.